We have more good news, this time out of Politico. I did skim this one a little bit ahead of time, and I am super excited for this. This one is entitled, "In an Unprecedented Move, DNC Official to Spend Big to Take Down Fellow Democrat." David Hogg, the DNC vice chair, wants to take down some safe incumbent. And to that I say, it's about time. Now you may remember David Hogg. He is the Parkland survivor that Marjorie Taylor Greene harassed while he was walking down a street in Washington, D.C. This picture here is of him speaking to a crowd during the second March for Our Lives rally in support of gun control on June 11th, 2022 in Washington. This might be actually where they were headed when she was harassing. So this one was actually published on the 15th, and it's written by Elena Schneider. David Hogg, a controversial Democratic National Committee vice chair, is pledging to upend Democratic primaries by funding candidates who will challenge ineffective, asleep at the wheel Democrats. He's coming for you, Chuck Schumer. The move puts Hogg, the now 25-year-old who first gained national stature as an outspoken survivor of the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, on a collision course with his own party and some Democratic House members. And I am here for it. It is about time that we shake up the Democratic Party. We have been living in a gerontocracy for far too long, and it is time for a new generation of leadership to step up and lead the way forward. Leaders We Deserve, which Hogg co-founded in 2023, announced plans on Tuesday to spend $20 million in safe blue Democratic primaries against sitting House members by supporting younger opponents. In an interview with Politico, Hogg said the group will not back primary challenges in battleground districts because I want us to win the majority, nor will it target members solely based on their age. We have a culture of seniority politics that has created a litmus test of who deserves to be here, Hogg said. We need people, regardless of their age, that are here to fight. It's an unprecedented and controversial move from a national officer within the Democratic Party that will enrage some insiders. Democratic Party committees like the DNC have traditionally not opposed incumbents in their own party, focusing instead on attacking Republicans, while the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is explicitly set up to protect incumbent members by providing resources, fundraising, and strategy. Hogg's decision comes at a time when the Democratic Party is grappling with how to confront President Treasonweasel and with what kind of Democrats can be their most effective messengers against the administration. Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, have faced intense pressure from base voters to ramp up their opposition to Trump's administration. When asked if DNC Chair Ken Martin supports his plan, Hogg said Martin certainly has different views on challenging incumbents. There are disagreements in our party about the right way to approach this moment. There are certainly disagreements we have, Hogg said. What I will say about Chair Martin, even if we do have disagreements, he's doing an excellent job of building and reforming our party. In a statement, Martin said that in order to ensure we are as effective as possible at electing Democrats to office, it is the DNC's long-standing position that primary voters, not the national party, determine their Democratic candidates for the general election. He praised Hogg as a passionate advocate, adding he is grateful for service, whether it be in his role as a DNC vice chair or in an outside capacity. A DNC aide, granted anonymity to discuss internal party dynamics, also noted that all DNC officers other than Hogg signed a neutrality policy pledging to stay out of primaries in their official and personal capacity. The New York Times first reported the news of Hogg's decision. Hogg burst onto the political scene as a survivor of the high school shooting in Parkland, Florida in 2018 and was elected as a vice chair of the DNC in February, over the objection of moderates who complained about his history of far-left rhetoric. Traditionally, DNC vice chairs are largely ceremonial roles with little public attention and even less power. But Hogg is testing the limits of the position and the DNC's willingness to stomach internal dissent. I think it's time for a little dissent. He who moves first always wins. He who hesitates is lost. And Democrats have been hesitating for a long time. That's the problem with the gerontocracy. Hogg argued that backing DNC challengers is in line with what he ran on for his DNC role. I'm not in this position because I want to bank my political capital. I just want change. I want to see a stronger Democratic Party, he said. He acknowledged there are going to be people who are very, very upset about this, but argued Democrats are in a crisis right now, citing a recent CNN poll that found the party's approval rating is at 29%, a record low for the party. Right, because we are not changing with the times. Our party is dying just as quickly as the Republican Party. We're just not doing it in a Trumpster fire of glory that they are. Okay, back to the article. Our base is craving dramatic change, Hogg said. We need to show our base we're here to fight for them. We need to show there are younger faces stepping up. And he's right. He is absolutely 100% right. But Hogg did name check two exceptions. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who is 85, and Rep. Jan Schakowsky from Illinois, who is 80. He described them as fighters who are delivering. But they've also both drawn generational challengers. Saikat Chakrabarty, the 39-year-old chief of staff to Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez from New York, who is running against Pelosi, and YouTube influencer Kat Abughazeli, I probably butchered that, 26, who is running against Schakowsky. Hogg said, leaders we deserve, they would not intervene in either race. There are other Democratic candidates, however, who are pitching themselves as generational change agents. From California to Indiana, several Democratic operatives granted anonymity to discuss private discussions, so they expect more primary challenges against older members in New York, Maryland, and Massachusetts. And I think that is good news for all of us. These younger people, it's their future that is on the line, more so than the older generation. Let's just be honest about that. They deserve to have a bigger voice in what happens going forward because everything comes down to politics. It's time for a new generation of leaders in the Democratic Party. So I am here for it. I especially think more women should run. The future is female, and that means more women need to be in leadership positions. But we're not going to get there by accident. We have to run on purpose to get elected into office. So I definitely think if you are interested, now is the time. I've got a bunch of resources I could put together in a video, so let me know if you're interested in that down in the comments, and I'll put it together to share. Please like, comment, and share, all that jazz.